Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. So today I want to talk to you guys about my copper IUD experience so that you can determine whether or not this is something that would be beneficial to you and the best birth control option for you. So let's go ahead and get started. So my main reason for choosing the copper IUD was because I wanted to go with a non-hormonal option of birth control, and that was the only one available, and so that's the one that I went with. I wanted to get an IUD just because I felt like it would be easier. I wouldn't have to worry about taking pills or anything like that, and even though I was breastfeeding, I didn't want to count that as like birth control because obviously you know that anything can happen. So I don't exactly know, like I've read up on it, but I don't exactly know like how the copper IUD will prevent pregnancy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that information right here for you guys. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to explain a little bit about how they put it in and then go over some pros and cons. All right, so when they put in the IUD, I was about 8 weeks postpartum. At my 6-week postpartum appointment, I told my doctor that I wanted the copper IUD, and then they had to order it through the insurance, and by the time it came in and everything, I set up the appointment, it was about 8 weeks when they did it. So the doctor told me to take like an Advil or some sort of painkiller before coming in to kind of help with the pain a little bit. But to be honest, I didn't take anything. I just prefer to not take pain medication if it's not medically necessary. So I opted to not do any of that, and I just went in. And basically what they did, it's kind of like a cervical exam. So he kind of felt up there, made sure that my cervix was good, and then he used a little prong things to hold it open in there. If you've ever had a vaginal exam, then you know. Or like a culture or something like that. They kind of like prop it open, and then he actually injected me with like a numbing agent. I don't know exactly which one, but he did go ahead and numb it a little bit before, inserting the IUD. So after that, it was a little uncomfortable, but I wouldn't say painful. Now, everybody's pain threshold or pain tolerance is different. I believe I have a pretty high one. So to me, it didn't really hurt all that much. It was a little bit uncomfortable and it was painful, but I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe like a 4 or 5. Once he put in the IUD, and I felt it mainly on my left side. Like I felt a big cramp on my left side when he put it in. And then that was it. It was a very short, and then he went in, he cut the strings, and it was a very short procedure. After that, he's like, you might start bleeding a little bit. Don't worry about it. If you start having excessive amount of pain, call me and let me know. Other than that, cramping and bleeding for the next couple days is normal. So that was fine. And then I went home. I had some cramping, very, very, very mild bleeding, and that was it. I've had it in since. I went in about 2 weeks later just so that he could double check that it was inserted properly, that it hadn't moved, and he did that via ultrasound, and he saw that everything looked good, so we were good to go. So that is how they put it in. I am currently 7 months postpartum minus 2 months. Okay, so I've had it in for about 5 months. And so far my experience with it has been pretty good. I can't vouch what it's like with a period, only because since I'm still currently breastfeeding, I have not had a period since giving birth. Thankfully, I haven't had my period yet. I am so happy about that, and I am not excited for when it decides to come back. But I'm just taking it 1 month at a time. It's fine. Whenever it does. But up until now, I have not had one. I have had cramping, a good amount of cramping every few days though. So it usually will never last more than about an hour, but it does get a little bit more intense than what I'm used to. And I've read that it's just your body getting used to having obviously a foreign object inside of it, and it's just your uterus kind of like getting used to it, which can happen within the first year. Even if you get your period, I've read that you can have a heavier period than normal with heavier cramping than normal, usually within the first 6 months to a year of having the IUD put in, until your body gets used to it and starts regulating itself. Now, because it is non-hormonal, it's not going to really help with your acne or, you know, I don't know, whatever non-hormonal birth controls help with. It's not going to do any of that because it doesn't have any hormones. What it does is it basically just prevents the sperm from fertilizing the egg, is what it does. I guess something in the copper helps that be done, and that's how it works. But you know, the description I put before, you can read all that. So pros and cons. All right, so let's start with the cons first, and then end with the positives. So cons, to me, there really aren't too many, other than the cramping. It's kind of annoying because I do have them, like I said, every few days. It's just not fun to have to deal with that. And in the beginning, oh, we're all adults here. If you're listening to this video, I'm sure that you know about sex, right? That's how you have a baby. That's why you get an IUD put in. But in the beginning, it wasn't uncomfortable for me, but Michael did say that he could feel it a little bit. And even now, 5 months postpartum, certain positions, he'll feel it more, and so will I. Like if I'm in a certain position, you know, while we're having sex, then you'll feel it, but it's nothing too uncomfortable. It's not, at least he says that it's not painful, and I mean, it doesn't stop him from wanting to do it. So yeah. But yeah, the cramping, you can feel it in the beginning, and I think that's basically it for the cons that I have. I haven't really had that negative of an experience with it. And then the pros for me are that I don't have to worry about taking a pill, right? It's just an IUD, so it's just put in there, and it's good for up to 12 years. I don't think I'm going to keep it in that long, but whenever I do want to go ahead and remove it, it's a very quick and simple procedure, and my body is back to normal because it doesn't have any hormones. But yeah, it's very effective. I think it's 99 or 97% effective. I don't have to worry about taking a pill every day, so I don't have to worry about like not taking it correctly and making the effectiveness go down, which is always nice. I like that it's non-hormonal for me, just because you know, I want to try to keep it as natural as possible. I didn't want it to mess with my milk supply or anything like that. So yeah, that's that. And let me see, anything else? That's pretty much it. You know, I've had a very positive experience so far, and to me the pros outweigh the cons. You know, it's a little uncomfortable putting it in, but other than that, you know, it's a quick thing. Cramping for a few days. Hey, I'm a woman, I went through childbirth and labor. Like, it's not really that big of a deal when you think of it like that, right? But yeah, I've had a very, very positive experience with the copper IUD. I highly recommend it to any woman who is looking for a non-hormonal option of birth control. It doesn't matter which option you choose, there's always going to be pros and cons. You just have to see which ones are going to be best for you and for your lifestyle. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it gave you some sort of information or some sort of insight on the copper IUD and helped you decide whether or not it would be a good fit for you. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more mommy content like this, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.